I think Jonathan has some other papers with some questions. I'll take up a few questions.
Okay, the first one is an easy one. Please kindly explain the meditation technique on the inner light and sound, especially how to transition from light to sound. Do we cover our eyes and ears?
Please kindly explain the meditation technique on the inner light and sound, especially how to transition from light to sound. Do we cover our eyes, ears? To start with, it's a big help to cover your eyes and ears to see the light and hear the sound. We were given a simple method to use our hands to do both things. With our thumbs, we can close our ears. Pretty good. And with our hand, cover our eyes, both at the same time, like this. And it worked well. So if you want to start like that, it's a good method to block your ears and close your eyes. Of course, you want to use earplugs, you can use earplugs, and you want to use those little eye shades that they give in the planes also nowadays to sleep, you can use those. It's a helpful thing to start. Light and sound, they look like two separate things. At the mental level, they are the same. The causal plane, when you reach there, you can hear the light and see the sound very clearly. The perceptions are divided only at the astral plane, so that we can establish reality of things by referring to one perception to another. How do we know that what we are seeing is real? I want to say, are these flowers real? Or am I just making them up? I can see them, but am I hallucinating and seeing them? No, I can touch them. I feel them. I can smell them. And therefore they are real. Can you imagine? That is our only definition of reality on the physical plane. Confirmation of one self-perception by another and saying this is real. And I say, do we forget that when we are sleeping at night and have a dream, if you see the flowers in the dream and somebody says, are they real or are you dreaming? I say, I can see them, I can touch them, I can even smell them, they are real. Then what's the difference between the same method we have used in the dream, same method you are using here? When do we find out in the dream that the flowers are not real? Only when we wake up, not earlier. Only way to determine if what we are seeing here is real or not is to wake up to higher reality. You must shift your reality itself. Our reality is based upon the use of our perception at that level. And that's why we continue to see at different times. Light and sound are a single perception at the mental level. We break them down to make them both real. Oh, I can see this, I can hear that, I can see this. We combine them. So, but in meditation, the technique we use of covering our eyes and covering our ears to be able to more easily see you. The whole idea is we want to obstruct, first of all, the sound from outside. And also, if there is any light, visible light, to cover our eyes with that. Not only that, when you do that, you create a space in your head. You get a feeling that you are inside. Because you are not only imagining you are inside, you are covering and feeling your hands are holding back, ears are holding back this whole space. But again remember that once you start meditation, don't start thinking whether you are closing your eyes or not. You're closing your eyes, but you are seeing within your eyes. So if you keep on remembering, I'm closing my eyes, by closing my eyes, you will remain in these physical eyes. You have to believe that what is seeing inside are the eyes which are open. You can close them or open them inside. That's a great experience to close and open inside. So that is why your meditation will be successful. the method of light and sound is to put attention in. As you go up, you can get glimpses of the higher planes also. Not a steady experience, just a glimpse. You get a glimpse that you are seeing suddenly a lot of light, and then it goes away. Or you hear a very strong sound of bell, and it goes away. This is because our attention is so scattered. If it gathers for a little moment, we put the attention the way we are using it now is to put it out and focus. When we try to focus, attention gets scattered. To gather the attention, to withdraw the attention is different from focusing attention or putting it out on something. So that is why sometimes we make these mistakes. But glimpses do come. People have during meditation seen suddenly golden light. Because the causal plane, the whole sky is golden. And everything is shining, golden shine comes up on all of us. Because our bodies are not like this. In the causal plane, body is very different. The body is some kind of an oblong feeling of being there. It doesn't have sense perceptions as we see them in this body or the inner body. These astral body and physical body are very similar. But the causal body is very different. But the glow of light is a reflection from the sun, a reflection from the sky. The sky itself is the sun, the whole sky. So these glimpses one can have. One can have a glimpse of being totally away from everything. Some people have had a glimpse even of utter darkness, a darkness they had never seen before. Because if you notice, every experience that we are having here in the physical plane has been generated from the top. And so you will find at the top, at the very top, you can have experiences of darkness also. Sometimes they say that even after going into the spiritual region, when you find the soul, and the light is so intense, your own soul's light is just a physical description, is equal to 16 of these solar suns that we see here. We can't face one here. Our own light is as strong as 16 suns put together. But the light of the sky is immense. So we feel we have reached the ultimate enlightened state to see the light. And yet after that is the greatest darkness that you can ever imagine. The darkness after the top. We use the terminology Parabrahma. We say Brahma is the creative power of the universes in time and space here. The three universes are created by Brahma. Brahman, Brahm, that's the highest form. Brahma at a lower level, Brahman they are using for a higher form at the bottom part of the what we call Parabrahma, beyond Brahma. Timelessness starts from there. Timeless time starts a little below. And time in both directions is the causal plane. Time in one direction with pauses is in the astral plane. Time that flows continuously in the physical plane. So we have a different experience of time itself at all these levels. But when you go to Parabrahma with all that light and you discover the top part of Parabrahma is actually part of totality. It looks like we are just separated, but we know the total. That is why the feeling we know the total comes before we actually enter the total, our true home, and after that we face the greatest darkness. Here, we don't have darkness. It is called absence of light. There is no such thing as darkness. In the physical world, what we call darkness is just the absence of light. There you see, darkness is a substance by itself and has been called like a cave, the darkness of a cave, Bhamar Gufa. The Gufa is the cave. Bhamar means even the cave is moving. The darkness is in motion. Of course, it's not like space, but the motion is something that we can understand. You cannot pierce through that darkness even with the light of 16 sun our soul possesses. So that is why the darkness and light, they can come down, and when we are having initial experiences, some people see light first, some people hear sound first. That doesn't matter. Even if you get sound first, concentrate your attention on the sound. Light comes, enjoy the light, but don't move towards it. Watch it from a distance. That's the key. Sound, listen attentively. Light, watch from a distance wherever you are. Because light, ultimate light will surround you completely. But when it is visible, as if it is coming on a sky or in front of the darkness, just spend a little time on it. And that's the technique that you can use. By closing the ears and eyes, it helps.
Is it advisable for seekers, satsangis, to avoid romantic entanglements due to the inevitable and unavoidable mental questions of one's own and his or own beloved motives, actions, and the evolution of one's original love to appear as mere mind, body, ego attachment?
Is this a question? Oh yeah, the question in the beginning. Is it advisable? Yeah, that's a question for seekers, satsangis, to avoid romantic entanglements due to the inevitable and unavoidable mental questions of one's own and his or her beloved's own motives, actions, and the evolution of one's original love to appear as mere mind, body, ego attachment. What is advisable? What we can say is a good thing for us is to concentrate on the beloved inside. The beloved inside stays forever. My own experience is there is no greater beloved than your perfect living master if he has appeared inside. If you spend time with the master inside, your love affair, you might say, develops to a point where nothing else looks attractive enough to go out. And yet, the love that flows from you when you have that experience affects people around you. And you can feel, they all feel that you are a very loving person. You are doing nothing. Your love is for your master inside and it appears outside. Now, so far as trying to romanticize it or say it's romantic or not, these are mental games. We just play games with the mind. There is a strong attraction between negative and positive, strong attraction between the male and female, strong attraction between opposites. That strong attraction is arising from the true love inside. But it is not the same thing. In the attraction that we have here, we do not let go of the I or the ego, like the question really put here. The ego says, the words used are, I love you so much. I love my house, new house I got, so beautiful. I just bought a new car. I love my car. I love my children. I love my parents. I love my friends. All these statements I'm making are expressing an attachment to something. Why is it called attachment? Because the I has not gone away. And not only in speech, it's not in the sentence that I'm saying. The I is being experienced. That it's me who is doing something outside. It's me attached to you. It's me loving you. It's me. That ego of the self is very strong in his attachments. That is why we can easily distinguish between love and attachment by the fact in attachment, the I never goes away. In love, it disappears. It's put back. When you fall in love with somebody, anybody, you don't think of yourself at all. You don't say, I love. You say, love, the beloved, that's all. So the beloved takes the place of I, if it is true love. We all have experience of true love. When we have an experience of true love, it comes from time to time, it comes up. And sometimes we convert it into emotions. Emotions are not love. Emotions arise from the energy centers below. The bulk of the emotions that come to us are from the heart center. And that is why they say, I give you this from my heart, I love you from my heart. Because the emotional part is an energy experience from the heart. The love that you experience from the soul is very cool. This emotion can bubble you up, can make you cry. But the other love, that is, it remains so cool, but pulls you a lot. The pull is much greater in real love. You can't help it. You can't help feeling, I must go and see, I have to go see. My beloved is with me, I miss so much. Missing so much is not so much an ego as missing the beloved. So there are differences between the two, but most of the time we are calling our attachments as love. The ego game has to end if you want to go beyond the mind, and that is why true love only can take you beyond the ego. One more question.
Okay. You told us that the souls of most people do not attain either heaven or hell. If so, what becomes of them and for how long?
You have told us that the souls of most people do not attain either heaven or hell. If so, what becomes of them and for how long? When we say souls, we are generally referring to the astral bodies, not the soul. Whatever is inside and can move and be reincarnated, we call soul. Soul never gets reincarnated. Only the bodies get reincarnated. To have reincarnation, you need time and space. You can't have reincarnation without time and space. So that is why these are functions that take place only the physical, astral and causal planes. That you can be born, you can die, and then you can be born again, which is reincarnation. In the physical plane, you can be born in many forms. The same soul or life form, the life power of the soul, can become a flower, can become a plant, can become an insect, can become a bird, can become an animal, can become a human being, can become an angel, can become the creative God. Same soul. Krishna tells Udo, the law of karma is very strange. And the people who live in that area, where Krishna was born and lived, they sing songs in the evening. Are Udo karman ki gat nyari se. That you cannot understand the nature of karma, because we think karma only good actions are giving you rewards, bad actions you can do some charity, do some good work and get over them. It's not so. Then Krishna points to an ant crawling there, and he says, Udo, this ant that you see here has once been Brahma, the creator of the universe. Once it has been Indra, the lord of one of the big heavens in the astral plane. And now because of its karma, that period is over, become an ant. Karma does not have any atonement possibilities in it. Supposing you've done something bad, you'll be punished. Supposing you do a lot of goods after that, lot of good things. Those good things are nothing to do with the bad at all. Bad will be punished, good will be rewarded. In the timeline that we live here, the events are so placed that we pay for each by good deeds rewarded, bad deeds punished. What makes good deeds and what makes bad deeds? These are determined by the mind. Karma is created in the mind, is stored in the mind, and played out in the mind, and paid off in the mind. The whole law of karma is operating at the mental level. Since the mind has a very long life, the causal body has a life of 3 to 5 million physical years on the average. Astral body has a life of about 1 to 3,000 years of physical life. So that is why with one mind you can have several astral lives, several physical lives. That is why the karma is still held and stored in that one mind. We call the stored karma sinchit karma. What we come here with is pralabdha karma or destiny. What we make here by deliberate decision making, deliberate intentions, is called karman, karma that leads to future karma, which is pralabdha, or it can be sinchit, reserve. So all this is happening in the mind, in single mind, it can all happen. So when we say that we are going to wipe out our karma, you can't do that. It all works in all these places. The description of the law of karma says, this is where you can create karma, this is where you can pay off the karma. In the scripture they listed 8.4 million forms, 84 lakh, 8.4 million forms of life, out of which about 5.6 million is in the plant kingdom itself. And then the last lot that they have recorded is 400,000, in which the human life is only one of them. And the angels, the creators of universes, in the astral plane, causal plane, are all listed in the last 400. And out of these 8.4 million forms of life, they have listed one life, one form of life alone can create karma. And the remaining 8.4 minus 1 forms of life are to pay off for it. You can imagine how fast we create karma. Karma is created by intention, not by action. Action takes place when we follow up on what we decide to do. When things happen accidentally, without intention, it's a payoff of the old karma, never new karma. If you deliberate and start thinking, should I do it or not do it? There's an element of deliberation with your mind. That means you are asking question to yourself, is it good to do it or not? And then you determine. So therefore the mind that is determining it, it's influenced by the environment in which it has grown up. That is why to create the right package of karma, you are born in the parents who will give you the idea of good and bad as they have been brought up. You'll be in a society, you'll be in an environment where the environment will tell you what is good and bad and you'll follow it. It does not mean there's a universal standard at all. From time to time, what is good is changed, what is bad is changed. From country to country it is different. From culture to culture it is different. Therefore, the mind is picking up and storing as the moral code of what is good and bad, and then it works out the punishment and reward accordingly. It's a very interesting feature by which we are living this life, and therefore, I would say that if you are not deliberating to create a karma, you don't create karma. When I first came to the United States, I heard a wonderful phrase people using, go with the flow. I said, this is the most enlightened country I've come to. They say, go with the flow, that means don't create any more karma. Just go with the flow. Don't make decisions. Should I do it or not do it? That's what creates karma. Going with the flow means going with the circumstances, going with the coincidences, going with the hints that you're getting, what is your duty to do. In the Hinduism in India, they say we are born with karma, a prarabdha karma or destiny, but we have a dharma to live that karma through. What is the difference between karma and dharma? Karma gives the opportunity for action. Dharma is how to use that opportunity to do it as a duty. Dharma is always considered to be a duty. Supposing you have children, you have to bring them up. You have a job, you have to do the job. All these are part of dharma or duty. If you are going to do your whole work, whatever duty comes in front of you, do your duty, no new karma is being created. But if you have to deliberate, should I or should I not do that? That's where the karma starts. It's a very good system, but a complicated system. But it works beautifully. It doesn't have too many exceptions. Sometimes we feel that we have a very bad karma. Bad sickness has come, bad financial situation has come, we are going through bad times. And we happen to have a nice master guru who we say can give a divine intervention. So we go to the gurus, we are having very, very bad time, please give us some divine intervention. The Guru says, okay, I'll pray for you, I'll help you, and your suffering becomes less. So you say, he has changed my karma. It looks like that. Now when you go to the astral plane, you find, if you read what your destiny is, it says that you will have that karma, you will go to a Guru, he will say divine intervention, and you will feel less as part of the predetermined karma. So there was not really divine intervention, except in the reality we had accepted here in the physical plane. Supposing you are a good meditator, and you ask your master, your Guru, in the astral plane, Master, I know it's written out here, change it right here. And he changes the whole thing here, there. Then you happen to go, wake up to the higher level of the causal plane and read your life, what is written there. You'll see at the astral plane, Guru will change everything. Pre-written from inception of the universe. Then you say, okay, now I want real intervention. And I want a new life instead of what I have. And the Guru replaces your whole DVD, your whole life script, puts a new one. You say, at least he has done a good job now. So you go higher to the spiritual plane, that also is pre-recorded. That means what we think is our destiny, and any changes in destiny, it all depends upon which level we are talking of. When we are in the physical plane, we all feel we can determine what we like. We can change our destiny right here. We make our own destiny. Somebody says, oh, your chart is saying that you have to go west. I'll go east. Break the chart. Only the higher plane written, I will break the chart. Also, we think that the predetermined text which we call our life or destiny is a set of events. That is not true. What is predetermined are the thoughts that we will make which will lead to events. So the whole predetermination is the way we think and make decisions. That's pre-recorded. So, but by being shut off from that experience, we feel really we are making our own karma, our own destiny. People complain. Why have God loaded me with such bad karma? You're putting the blame on somebody else. Well, first of all, karma is created at the very level of human being, and this happens at the physical plane. No other plane. We create our own karma. But then we can say, if it is predetermined, before we were born, how could we create karma? How come we are being blamed for something when something was written before we were born? We could have done nothing. Then we have to go to the highest place and find there it was the same self that created the whole setup. We call it the God or creator or ultimate power or totality. That was the same self that is now becoming the self here. So we did create the karma before we were born. So it all depends. Your whole definition of what karma is, how it's created, how it's paid off, the whole concept and idea about it changes from one level to another. Thank you very much for your kind attention again, and I'll see you next month.